Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulman Rahim here, Messenger of Covenant, break up 7 seals. I have a few things to discuss, brothers and sisters, today. Mainly the war. Been warning you about this war for 35 years now. It's here. And it's getting hotter and hotter every day. So we're going to talk about that. Let me check one thing here real quick. One thing here real quick. Right here. But brothers and sisters, people talk about truth.
Do you then believe in a part of the book
But
and
does anybody
disbelieve
really
in
want
the other?
truth?
What then?
Does anybody really want truth? Let's examine that for a minute. Let's examine that. See, what is truth? First of all, we have to understand what truth is to begin with. See, truth is the state of reality. In other words, understanding what the reality is now. That's truth. Because in the wintertime, that's the truth. The things of the winter. The things of the spring is not the truth. Some things may be, but the truth is reality. That's what truth is, reality. Right? And if you're talking about the future, well, also, if you're saying what the future reality is going to be, and you is correct, that's truth also. So you say, okay, you're in the spring, and you're talking about the winter, and you tell them, well, that's truth. It's a future truth, but it's not a powerful truth because the truth is where you are right now, because you have to get through right now before you get there. So if you understand truth from that perspective, it's right now, what's actually happening right now, the reality. See? And so when it says God can make God went forth, see the world, in other words, see the world about the reality, what's really happening, what the reality is. Okay? How the universe works. Christianity, for instance, is false, totally. Because it doesn't speak to the reality. It gives you all kinds of mystical things, right? All kinds of things that you can't touch, you can't check, and it gives you no mathematics and nothing to tell you how this connects up with the truth of the universe. You say, well, this is the truth. Well, that Jesus died or whatever. Well, is it? And so that's what it is. To confuse you about the reality. Once they do that, then they have control of you. They have to confuse you about the reality. Once you understand the reality, that's a whole different issue. And the thing is no one, the only person I ever found that was concerned with truth in my life, Elijah Muhammad. His father's not about the truth. Farrakhan is not about the truth. the followers of Pharaoh are not about the truth. Because the people with Elijah, they weren't about the truth. If they were, they was continuous with Elijah. They were there because of family, friends, in crowd, following what other people were doing, or as a personal benefit. It wasn't there for truth. They weren't there for truth. Because they were truth, and okay, what was the base of their truth? Their truth was supposed to be in the Bible. It's supposed to be in the Bible, because Elijah Muhammad, he refers to that, says that's how we know that the God is coming, the Abrahamic covenant, all those things, that information came from the Bible. It didn't come from Master Muhammad. The fact of Master Muhammad is Elijah Muhammad recognized him based on the Bible. So you're the one to come. Where did you get that from? You're the one that we're expecting. Well, how do you know the expecting them in the Bible? So you accept the Bible as truth or what? Because if you accept it as truth, if you say it's not truth, then why would you say you got to accept it or reject it? Because if you don't, that's what it says. Let me play this again. Okay. Quran's very clear on this point.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Let's see. I didn't. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. Let me play this back again.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
And notice he said the most grievous that means not just a chastisement, most grievous, the worst, reserved for them. Right? Because they've been part of the book of another. Either you got accept or reject it. And the Quran says you cannot be a believer unless you accept believe that was revealed to you and before you. So when they come and say the Bible is corrupt, all that kind of stuff, because they don't understand it. If that's Allah's truth, and He controls everything as they say, and that's His will, you mean He's going to let somebody distort His will? He's going to judge you for a light that's polluted? You understand what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? No, the Bible. Right? It's not so well. There's bad interpretations. That's true, right? But it's sealed. It's sealed to protect it. Because once you unseal it, right, then you get the truth. Then when you seal something, you seal it to protect it from harm, from corruption. See, but some people after you unseal it, right, they still want to corrupt anyway. That's another story altogether, right? But it says most grievous. In other words, the most is the worst. The most worst chastisement you can imagine is reserved for them. So they say they believe in the truth, but they don't believe in the truth. See? And the only person I've met in my life who only believed in the truth was Elijah Muhammad. Because his followers don't believe in the truth. For how come those people don't believe in the truth? Because I accept the Bible 100%. 100%. I don't distort it. believe part of the book, don't believe part of the other part. And if you just listen to read what it says there, it's clear. You don't even need the. In fact, when you read Exodus, you don't even need to unseal it because it's so clear right there that you can't go wrong. So the people are going wrong because they don't believe in truth. Because the truth right now, even without the angel unsealed Bible, the truth is so bright, even with that you wouldn't err. Take Exodus, for instance. Now they're going to tell you that, or even Malachi. They're going to tell you, oh, well, Elijah's Moses and Farrakhan's Aaron. Well, then they put it. He says it's Aaron. Well, then, or just read it. If you believe the truth, it tells you Aaron's no damn good. Don't follow him. He's going to lead you to destruction. It's right there. It's simple. So you're going to believe in part of the book and disbelieve the other? Because it says right there. It says Moses, God came, raised up Moses, right? And they tell you, Elijah departed like Moses did. He's with the God, and Aaron be in charge. And Aaron would corrupt everything. He would turn people away from Elijah's message, from Moses' message, and turn away from even the God. That's what it says right there, clearly, clear language. He got all his people slaughtered, and then with Joshua they had to take the people home. So it was that there was 4 people there. The God, the messenger, the one that corrupted everything, caused all destruction, and then you got the one that actually taken home. And if you go to Malachi, you have the same 4 again. Right? You got the God that raised up Elijah, and then you got the one that robbed the nation, cursed with a curse, and then you got the messenger of the covenant, Joshua. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? I mean, that's simple. You don't need a sealed Bible for that. So how come they confused? Because they're either demons, or they're actual stupid, right? Or obviously they don't believe in the truth. None of them believe in the truth. Because it's right there in front of your face. If you just follow that basic truth right there, how could they corrupt that one? You mean they went back and said, hey man, there's going to be a Farrakhan, so let's take it and twist people around. Because remember, they claim it happened in the past. So why would they corrupt it? They claim that something happened in the past. But it's actually future stuff. And you saying that you believe in it is happening now, but it's right there. So they don't believe in truth. No one believes in truth. Because I show you example after example after example. If they believe in truth, they've been with Joshua, they've been the messenger of the covenant, because that's what it tells you clearly. And when the messenger of the covenant comes, and that truth is just light, a little bit. He gives even brighter truth than that. Because everything he right there is clear. He comes, it backs up what Elijah Muhammad said, and you don't want to hear it. You're interested because you ain't about truth. And that's okay. Because you ain't about truth, or truth don't want you either. That's why you go in tribulation. That's why Elijah Muhammad said, in the end, only the believers be enough to fill the cab. And there's some truth in that. Because you don't believe in truth. I haven't met anyone yet that really believes in truth. Because it's right there. You didn't even need me to get that. Elijah came, and what happened? Elijah gone, and what? How did they go astray? How did they go astray? Because they didn't believe in truth. They didn't check, look, they just followed everybody's follow what everybody else was doing. So they was going with Farrakhan, they went Farrakhan. And they can't find anything, I challenge them, they can't find anything in the scripture anywhere, or in the Quran, right, that supports Farrakhan. Supports him. What he's saying, he's the one, he's anointed. He was. It doesn't say he was anointed. God really resisted, got angry at most even suggesting him. So it ain't about truth. And somehow they think they're hurting someone, but because they're not about truth, like I said, truth is reality. So if you are to reality, you're going to be destroyed by reality. wintertime comes, you have to know the truth of winter. You can't come in with the truth of, well, you can't come to the truth of the summer, or you're going to freeze to death. But you ain't even come with that. You're not coming ain't truth at all. Exactly. Because right now, we're in a new season and you have no idea about it. We're in a new season, the season's changing right now, and you have no idea. You have no idea. Like I said, it's going from winter to spring, and you have no idea. It's changing. You sitting around here, they say you got sunburn, you burn up, and say, what happened here? I don't know. What happened? The weather changed. I don't know. Because you just, and they come and say, because when it comes, they come and say, they give you the book, your new mind, as winter's closing, so you can start preparing for spring. They don't wait till you get in spring to get it. And so now you read it. That's what said the believers, right? Those who are successful because they believe in the truth. That's what scriptures are, your new mind, and believe in it, and they start, right, preparing. So when the spring comes, they prepare for it. But disbelievers don't believe in the spring. See, they just believe in, they don't even necessarily believe in the winter. They believe in it because of their ears. I mean, you know, somebody made an igloo for them, whatever, and somebody's doing stuff for them. Hey, man, we make coats for you. You know, they ain't doing it. They're like bystanders. They're just here. They barely made it to the winter because they probably didn't believe when it was fall. I don't know if I'm making sense to you, brothers and sisters, but you ain't about truth. Because if you was, that's the scripture tells you would come to the truth. You've been all over the message of the covenant because it says that's the way you should be seeking. You've been all over that. Because when you check this out, it's absolute truth. There's no confusion here. You've never been any truth as clear as this. Now that stuff, so-called Son of Man, God, there, Ben X, all these people, they're trying to mess with the black man. Show me a message black man explains what's going on right now. And then Sunday says they outright lie. Farrakhan talked about the war in the Middle East. It's a goddamn lie. He didn't talk about that at all. He said Armageddon. That was going to be a war in Europe. It's going to spread all over the place. But then all of a sudden, he got switched around. He talked about the war in the Middle East. No, he didn't. Show it to me. I told him, I said, watch. That's how they try to twist this around. He said, so, and to get around it, he's supposed to be the messenger. He's supposed to be right? He's supposed to give you a message. He's supposed to deliver you, get you home. He's supposed to be the light in the darkness. And all of a sudden, when the darkness get dark, he just go out. God told me don't say anything. What? Really? How does that work? God don't say anything. Shut up. After you made him rich over 42 years, and now the time that you need him, he shut up. Are you buying that? Well, truth is not quiet. You never heard a solid winter come in, a solid spring comes in. It's bold, and you can't stop it. That's truth. And I haven't met anyone, and that happens to all sincerity. I mean, anyone just, you might find it like, say, a male or female, it's both ways. I mean, I've seen males, they pretend to be Christian because they see a girl they like and she's Christian. Hey, they don't believe it. It's going on because they like her. So they'll say, yeah, I believe in that. I mean, I've been a victim of that. A demon wife. Yeah, she wasn't. See, it ain't about truth. It's about what they can get. I mean, my friend's in it, right? Or some benefit, or maybe you're mad at somebody so you're doing it, or whatever. But you need it for truth. And the proof is, if you start asking them, show me the proof of why you believe in this. And they can't tell you. Go ask people. Why? Oh, because my mama told me. Or Reverend Jackson told me. Yeah, but have you checked it? I mean, if this is your life depends on this. Have you checked out for yourself and you did an investigation for yourself? No. That shows you right there, ain't about truth. Because you're about truth, then you go and check it out for yourself, and you would know it yourself. It's always about truth. And that's unfortunate for them, not unfortunate for me. But that's what tribulation is all about. To purge those because it's about truth. But see, see, some people want to come through, they ain't about truth. You got the same problem. Because everybody's going to fire, it's going to be total darkness, and they scared. Like if you're blind, man, you can hold on to anybody. Because you're scared, you hear lions roaring, you're going to hold on to anybody. You don't know who it is. Because you're scared. So a lot of people going to be scared. Because it's going to be time, unprecedented trouble. And so they ain't going to believe in what those people talking about going tribulation, but they're going to hold on to them. So what else I'm going to do? I'm holding on to them for dear life. They don't believe it. As a consequence of that, they're going to lie. You tell them, okay, you have to do 5 pills. I'm doing it. But they might have a choice by eating 1 meal a day. Well, they not have a choice. Everybody's get a portion, right? So they might take the portion, put in half. So now I'm going to tell them eating 1 meal a day. We'll say one for breakfast. Whatever. Because you got to stop. You have to have a certain mind to make it through tribulation. That's right. You can't mess with any word, anything. And so you go through it, and you have to be right. And so it's a certain form you have to follow. So it's book of Daniel tell you they're going to hold on to you with blandishment. So they're going to hold on you with blandishment. Say, yeah, man, I'm with you, man. That's what blandishment means. Awful caresses. Yeah, man. Look, see, I'm with you, man. You know, look, I'm making us a lot when you're looking. I'm with you. No. They hold on because they don't know what else to do. And so when they come out handicapped because they come out and they get tested. Like, you go to school and you go and you all semester. And yeah, man, you raise your hand and everything else, right? But then they test you. And if you've really been studying, you're going to pass tests. If you ain't been studying, you've been BSing around, you're going to fail the test. And so, therefore, you fail the class. And you fail the class, know what that is? Everlasting shame and appallment. Because when you get there, you got to build, mind got to be on a certain level. And your last chance for that is tribulation. That's the last chance for it. You're on that level or you ain't, in between. So why get it? No, you can't. Because nobody's going to waste time trying to get you there. That's your last chance. And you put yourself in that position because if you love truth, you would never be Farrakhan. You would be Farrakhan for one instant if you love truth. You wouldn't, because there's no truth that supports him. He's a truth, all right. He's the truth that he would deceive you. That's the truth, and he's done it. He said he would make war with the saints and overcome them. 40-some years. Okay, truth and war in heaven. Now we're at war right now, brothers and sisters, and I've been warning you, right? For years, 35 years. So the abomination of desolation proceeded. I got a presentation out there to tell you all about the abomination of desolation before it happened. Before that Farrakhan stuff. Right? Oh, watch the weather. And like this, all of a sudden he knows all about the war in the Middle East. We never mentioned it. It's like COVID. 7 months later in July, he knows all about it 7 months later. Okay? He's foul no matter how you come at it. But why you with him? Because you like him. He's your friend's buddy. I like the way he talk, I like the way he look. You see how Ishmael scribe, look how handsome he is. I said, are you sleeping with him or something? How handsome he is. See, he's so, what that guy do anything? And so your denial of truth is your destruction, because like I said, denial of truth is denial of reality. How can anybody be successful to deny reality? Because the angel is the truth of this time. The crown was the truth of 1,500 years ago. If you denied it, you failed. That's where the world was then. That was the truth then, that season. And if you accepted that and you acted on it, you were successful. Period. But now that season's past, and you understand that. So therefore, how you know it's fast? because they have no clue what's going on right now. No clue. They ain't see any of this coming. They don't know what the result going to be. You know, where's Allah and stuff like that. They have no idea. But the angel tells you exactly what's happening, why it's happening, before it happens, and what the end result will be. In clear language. So in the one heaven now, that, you know, the thing is, you know, I've been watching today, and that's taking up a lot of my time too. And I got to figure out a way to manage that. But false Israel tried to make peace with Iran. So let's stop this thing. Why? Because they're getting their ass kicked. Otherwise, they won't stop it. And then, now, well, it's true. I haven't checked, you know, took and double checked it. But is that Trump? We'll put it this way: Iran attacked an American base. Right? In terms of, well, I'm not going to retaliate. No, we're trying to calm things down and so on things. But they ain't able to calm things down because they're trying to stop the spring from coming in. They can't stop it from coming in. You get hotter and hotter every day. And when the false Israel said to Iran, let's put a stop to this, Iran said no. They were surprised with that. Iran said no. No, we ain't finished whooping your ass. How do you think that's going to work? That's where you have to understand the truth. Only an angel gives you that truth of how things work. Because once you understand how things work, you know exactly how it's going to turn out. But most people don't even know what's going on, and they have no idea of how it started, why it started, when, you know, how it's going to last, and what's the outcome. For our country, certainly don't. That's why he said God told him to be quiet, because he don't know. He don't want to put his word out there, because he's been. And Ishmael say, it's in the Bible. If a person say what's going to happen, don't happen, you should listen to him. Or why you listen to Farrakhan then? Because he ain't predicting anything that happened. Nothing. He said Armageddon started 3 years ago. You seen Armageddon? Could spread over Europe. You seen it? See, they just lie everything. They ain't about truth over there. They ain't about survival. I mean, you can't blame people for survival, but they're about survival. But the problem is, they're hurting people. See, when you go for survival, and you're hurting people, right, that's not trying to destroy you, that's why you're trying for, you know, personal survival, then you deserve to be destroyed. See? Because you're going out there and you tell me these lies because you want to survive. I can't argue with someone that's lying to survive. I mean, if my life was on the line, or my child's life was on the line, right, and I lied would save them, I would lie. That's self-preservation, the first law of nature. That's recognized universally, right? If he didn't know, just to save him, yes, I would do it. Because that's self-preservation. If you didn't do it, I wonder what's wrong with you. You don't want to live? You know, you get that story in Jacob, and people understand the story. Because Esau was the rightful inheritor, and Jacob was his younger brother. They were twins, his younger brother. So oldest brother get the inheritance. But his older brother, he was like nonchalant about it. But Jacob lied, stole, cheated, everything else to get that inheritance. And so God said, I love Jacob, but I hate Esau. Because Jacob was willing to do anything that shows that he really loved it, and he was willing to die and everything to get it. So he loved the gift that God had. He loved it. Esau didn't appreciate it that much. And you don't understand that story. Because why would God love someone that's lying and cheating and tricking people and hate the other person? You understand these stories because you understand reality. You understand God. You don't know God. You have no idea what God's about. So this work going on, and it's the winter people. It's spring come in, and the winter people see these devils. They were the winter people. They had 500-year reign this season. Season probably 500 years, right? And they had the rain. It was wintertime. We was freezing because we summer people. So we was at a disadvantage. But they winter people. And now the spring is coming in, they want to stop it. And they're doing everything to stop it. Because they want to live. I can't blame them for that. See? But those clowns, I'm saying, what I was saying about them is that if you try to save yourself by destroying other people that's not attacking you, no, that's a whole different issue altogether. You're going to suffer consequence either way. That's a whole different issue. And that's what they're doing. Because they're out there lying, they're hurting people. Hurting millions of people, hurting the whole nation. They're lying. They say anything. Everything they said over there was Sunday was a lie. And then Israel comes and say, we're forbidden to lie. That's a lie right there, because that's all they do is lie. But they can get away with it because the people there are not about truth. See, you can get away with the lie when nobody's about truth because they don't know you're lying. Because the people around him, that shows people around him, they ain't about the truth because they wouldn't be with him 5 seconds because they would see you lying. But they ain't there because of the truth. They wouldn't be there. Unless they're waiting for something else, and it says those ones seeking the message of the covenant. That means they wasn't with Pharaoh. It tells you in Exodus, because Moses came back and says those with the Lord, and they walked away from Aaron. I understand that. But they wouldn't, because they don't know, they ain't about the truth. Or they wouldn't be with them. And so we don't want them. Because they're out of sync with reality. And that's a whole nother mathematical thing altogether. You see? Because eternal life means you have to keep evolving, staying in tune with reality. Reality keeps changing. The universe is constantly expanding or contracting. Now it's in the process of contracting. That means we're talking about, we tell you there's 24,000 year cycles, scientists write history, but within that you got 4 seasons, 6,000 years apiece, and with that you got, within 6,000 years, you got the seasons, 500 year periods, because it's right there in Genesis. And Genesis broke down in 6 days. Each day is 1,000 years, and it's broken down in 2 parts, 50 and 50. 500 years and 500 years. You got those cycles. You got cycle within cycles. So I tell you, this 500-year period we just come through right now was a period for Adam. And what is I mean, and people, they with Christianity and all that kind of stuff, they ain't about truth, because what they got to do is says, known by their works. So what's the history of Christianity the last 500 years? And so how did we get over here? Christians, boys over here, not Hindus, not who was, right? Who raped us? Christians. Who stole this land? Christians. Who committed genocide on the people? Christians. Who raped us, murdered, and you have the force, the whole maintain that kind of system takes terror 24/7. Who terrorized 24/7 for years? Christians. With a cross around their neck. It wasn't just North, it was the whole, all of them. So, if you're about truth, how would you would say, the God that they represent, they're doing His works, you tell them that's a righteous God? Well, apparently yes. Oh, what does that mean? See? It gets to complications because you're talking about Adam. He said submit to Adam because it was winter season. So he was righteous during that season because that was a winter season. God supported him because he was in sync with the season. It was a wicked season. And he was in sync with it. That's why he was successful in it. And the ones that had the Quran, from the autumn season, they failed because they weren't prepared for the winter season. They said, I'm not going to submit to the winter. I'm not going to submit to that. I'm going to keep, see, it works both ways. And you understand this, but you can't explain it. You can't explain it. Well, it's just the will of God. Well, then what? Well, the will said to submit to Adam. He made men shed blood. That's the winter season. And where the so-called Arabs, they were successful, all of a sudden they haven't been successful the last 500 years. They haven't been successful the last 500 years. Because they refused to submit to Adam. Adam was successful because it's the winter season. That's just the way nature universe. See? So you have this sync of the universe. So those submit, they was in sync with the universe. They submit, the submission was wicked. If you submit to wicked people, that means you're going to be doing wicked things because they're going to tell you to do right things. So if you submit, then you cannot be, if you submit and now you in a land of wickedness and you have to obey the laws of wickedness, you got to follow what the wicked people tell you, right? So you're going to be living a wicked life because you live in a wicked land under wicked laws. And the God told you to do that, then he can't say you sinful, you're wicked. No, because you submitted. The other one, he's walking around, I got the Quran, I got Mecca, I ain't submitting to this damn winter. This is how I'm at, right? And he ain't got anything. He's the one that God said he cursed them. See? Because that's dealing with truth. Not what you want it to be, that's the truth. Because you say you only be successful by Allah's will, then it must have been will for these devils to be successful, wasn't it? To make men shed blood. So you mean God can't lie, God can't he makes everything perfect? That's he says God make everything perfect. Then where did Satan come from then? Where did wickedness come from? If everything they created, they didn't create themselves, so he must have created it. How would Satan come? He must have created Satan, and he didn't know what Satan was going to do before he did it. See, I'm saying you don't know anything. You don't know anything. And that ignorance, right, is to your detriment. Because it doesn't matter if you're retarded, you're a genius, or you're 1 year old. You step off a 10-story building and you're going to crack, bust your ass. We have to go say, well, that's little baby. No. Ignorance has a consequence. And then we go into tribulation. Why? We want to get rid of all you ignorant, dumbass people. They're not about truth. We don't want you. Because you're the problem. Because we moved on to the spring. And the spring goes in the summer. Spring goes in the autumn. And, right? It keeps going on. This is the worst winter we ever had. It's not going to be bad for us anymore. It's just the season's going to change. And you keep getting revelation. Every 24,000 years, they give it to you as the season comes in. The scripts you need for that time. And the believers move on to the next level, to the next floor. And disbelievers, they get lost on the floor they're on. They don't make it to the next one. And that's the way it works. That's just the bottom line. And so therefore, tribulation is to separate, right, the believers from the disbelievers, those that can't move to the next level. They couldn't handle it. If they couldn't handle it. That's why the ones that do make it, everlasting shame and appallment, because they got the second floor, but they still got first floor understanding, and so therefore they can't survive. You take somebody from back then, probably how much time? 1,500 years ago. Baby, you think they understand what's going on here? You think they can operate? You got people right here, right now, don't know how to operate a cell phone, how to drive a car, and all that kind of stuff. You have to keep up. Okay? And I'm going to talk about that in a different way, but that's the truth. Okay? And so people say, because you don't see me ask for any followers. I don't want any followers. I'm giving people information. So now those that want to can you may want to move next season, still may not be able. That's your problem. We only want those who are able to move on to the next level and want to. You have to want to. Allah will lift you up and cling to earth. Some people just cling into this. You move to the next level. Because if you bring somebody from this one, then you got to baby him, you got to take care of him, push their wheelchair, we got time for that. Stay here. Women, brothers and sisters. Let's look at this for a minute. It says, I'm not going to be able to get through all this, brothers and sisters, because there's so much to talk about. See right here? I don't know if you can see this now. Let me see if I can make this larger here. No, I'm going to do it that way. It's causing me a problem if I do that. So see, this is the New Jerusalem. It's not the mother plane. The dumbass Farragut, the mother plane. No, it's not the mother plane. We're going to live on the mother plane. This, you need Angel Key to know this. This here says new heavens. This part up here, from the red to the gold, that's the new heavens. And down here where it says, you see the brown and NOI, that's the new earth. That's all it's going to be. And I broke this down a little bit a long time ago, so I think I revisited it. It's inspired because, I had this fool come here. And I know people are stupid, some people. And I don't like to deal with them, but I said, I got to deal with the Levites. I said, if you're going to deal with, like I said, if you're going to clean, if you see people people in a lake of shit, well, you're going to get shit on you to get in there and clean them up. Elijah Muhammad got a lot of dirt. Master Muhammad, look, he had to come here in this filth. You mean he didn't touch him? Yeah, touched him, and then he got out of here. Okay. So in this case here, it talks about hell. Now, if you read the Quran carefully, I'm not going to go into detail. I mean, you look at it. It talks about hell. It talks about hell. It says your skin. If you burn your skin, but when you burn your skin, you get new skin. Say, wait a minute. So in other words, it's like some kind of great healing. It says your skin can't be burned, but whenever it's burned, you get new skin. See, and it says. You be eating. They said nicer way, but I'm just telling you directly. You be eating shit and drinking piss. Won't have any shade cover. That's hell. Now see, the thing is, they're telling you something you understand. They say you're healing. That means you got a lot of energy. You're very healthy. You have to be very healthy to live in a situation like that. I don't understand. You have to be very healthy to live on those conditions. Because drinking piss don't kill you. That means you have to be very healthy. Eating shit don't kill you. You have to be very healthy. And when you get burned, you have to be very healthy. So what it's telling you is, we come out of energy deprivation. Everybody gets the same amount of energy. The devils get just the same much energy we get. It's just divided by how many people on the planet. We get it's dimensions in heavens and earth coming above the sun. So earth is universe is contracting, now the energy is coming back. So now it's start energized. Pretty soon the deserts, all that stuff be gone. Right? So I said, okay. So I'm thinking, energy then what? Because that's what happens. See, it says we're going to throw them into hell and abandon them, and you put strong guards over them. So I'm going to break this down for you. The strong guards is going to be NOI and the Sunni, because they're the new earth. And that's what hell's going to be there. Their strong guards are going to keep it under control. Keep them locked in where they can't get out. And I tell you, hell's going to be way north in Europe, way up there where they call Siberia, up there somewhere. Right? And we're going, and it's like the Jesus said it'd be a place of refuge. I mean, well, I'm saying the word right? Not refuge. I'm like, maybe at the same word sound, you know, the garbage, they guys, right? So I'm gonna use garbage, stuff that you throw away. Say a place like we use like a junkyard, right? And it says the worm will never die. Where it's saying is your sexual desire will never be saturated because you're so healthy. So for males, if you sexually aroused, you can be sexually aroused 24/7. It would never, you can never be satisfied. That's horrible. You say that's great, really, especially if you can't satisfy it. You can't satisfy it, so you never get satisfied. And so that's what it said. That's what it means. The worm will never die. So you up there, and all it is, no food, nothing to grow, no forest, no farms, anything like that. Only thing food is recycling piss and shit. That's all, and each other. Because they said there'll be no family ties, so you won't have any friends. You won't be with anybody. Everybody be alone. They'll be afraid of anybody else because the best meal in town is you. Best meal in town is you. They catch you sleeping or something out there, right? If you even you have so much age, you may not even need to sleep. But they catch you sleeping, they're gonna eat you. And you're gonna be, your sexuality will be raging all the time, so you'll be chasing women, and you'll be like Elijah Muhammad Cave, you're gonna be just covered with hair, have no clothes. And you'll be chasing women, and they be running from you. Why? Because they know if you catch them, you gonna eat them. Why are you doing them? And then if they get away and get pregnant, right, they're still gonna drop their baby just like the horse drop a colt or whatever they call it. That's hell. And a lot of the Levites going up there. Aside from the devils, because that's devil stuff, there's lots of Levites going to jump there with them. See? Because like I said, you know, the thing is, I said shit farm, $1 million shit farm is equal to $1 million gold mine. So both are worth $1 million. As far as consequence concerned, you got $1 million. But what if you're stuck on a shit farm? Then all you can do is smell shit and eat shit, whatever, right? You see what hell is? So you're gonna be very healthy, but that's the last thing you want to be in hell is very healthy. Because if you wasn't, you'd die quick. So you quick death. But no, you're gonna live a long time. The Quran says something like 70 years. If you look at basically what they're saying, I think it's more than that if you break it down. But at least 70 years, and that's where you're gonna be living. Eating shit, drinking piss. Because that's what you pretty much did to us for the Holocaust, ain't it? Pretty much did to us. Fast shit. Make us drink piss. Oh, yeah. See, I can get the stuff. Open your mouth, boy. I gotta take a piss. And piss right in your mouth. You better not swallow it. You better. Yeah. That's some of the stuff they used to do. And they used to laugh at it. And that was fun. They did to our sisters, too. That was fun to them. We think they did for their basketball and football and kind of stuff. If you read it carefully, their pastime on the weekends was burn a nigger. They put in the papers, we're gonna burn a nigger. Maybe a special day we're gonna burn two. And the black folks knew it, so they would hide. They couldn't read, but they knew something was up. They go hide because they just picked the first one they saw. And they just run around and see the first one they got, that was that. And that was it. And you have, I mean, Oprah's got a thing out there called Slave Papers or whatever that talks about it. They interviewed slaves before they died back in 1920, before they all died. They said that's what was happening. They would take and they put it in the paper. It was just in the South. It was all over. Put it in the paper. We're going to have I don't know what they call it. And then you see them, they have a picnic, and they set them up and burn them, and the kids sit around eating That was the entertainment for they had basketball and football, that kind of stuff. That's hell. That's where hell is. So, and it says, those will be the strong gods, right? Which the Sunni or the jinn, and if Islam, that's the new earth. They're going to be the strong gods that keep them locked up in here. So, I don't forget that or not, so move on. Okay, the war in heaven now. Okay, I'll leave it up like that for now. Okay, abomination desolation. I told you about that. I got a presentation we told you about it before it showed up. What's been going on? Abomination desolation. That happened. That's October 7th. That kicked it off. And approximately a year and a half later would be, that's when, because that's the first stage. It's a war in heaven. And it says, a war broke out in heaven. That's the abomination desolation where they talk about, right? It says, if you look at the root word abominable, right? It says, let me see if I say it correctly. The uprising was put down with great cruelty, with abominable cruelty. That's what's going over there. Abomination desolation going on for over a year and a half, and nobody called it. I called it before it happened and called it while it was going on. No one called it. And if they knew the devils, they couldn't call anyway because they're exposed who they are. That's the truth. It's on Amalek. No, what they're doing is going to happen to them. But now, right, you see right now? Now they're actually pleading. No, if you check, they actually pleaded, false Israel was pleading with Iran, well, let's put a halt to this now. They're getting their ass kicked. See? Because now they're getting a taste of what they did, but they're going to get a full meal in a minute. Taste what they're doing to Gaza. Let me speak on that for a second. You know something? Everybody's talking stuff. Yeah, God, so they're crying about what's happening over in the Middle East and all that stuff. I don't give a damn about that. Yes, bad stuff happening and everything else. But see, you gotta understand consequence. You gotta start thinking mathematically. They get a taste, and they're gonna get a bigger taste. What did it to us? Because we was living in that area, region of the world. And they saw us, they betrayed us. The Arabs, our half brother. We see Abraham. Right? And they Ishmael, the one that is his first son. And it's like I said, they betrayed us. We were Joseph. We just Joseph's descendant. They betrayed us because they knew we was going to rule one day. Everybody had to submit to us. They betrayed us. And the whole time we was over here, did anybody speak up for us? It was Holocaust, the most worst time that almost anybody ever endured up to that time. And did they ever speak to us? They try to help us? They care about us? No. They sold us. If you go watch that first Bruce, you see that it was them that was, because devils didn't know anything about Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa, they know. And so they had to go to Arabs. And if you understand you understand Genesis, it says there was a flame, angel put a flame of fire to protect from the tree. See? Read good. And that was the flame of fire. Because he was separated to tree of life. Separated from the tree of life. That's us. See? And what happened is that they betrayed us. They moved out the way and let the devils come and get us. And they took our lands. Egypt, you saw all these white folks over there. They were black back during that time. Right? Algiers, Tunisia, Morocco. Where do you think the Moors came from? Morocco. They was blacker than me. They betrayed and took our lands. And then we suffered, and no one gave a damn about us. They never came over here to say anything. They did one thing. In fact, when they did come over here, They had a big community in Detroit. That's where Master Muhammad came to. They had the first temple, temple number 1 in Detroit. And so all these black folks suffering, and they did not one imam ever came out to the black community and said, boo. And they knew we their brothers. Didn't say boo. None of Islam or anything. Then when Master Muhammad showed up, hey man, that's Islam ain't right. Well, fuck you. Okay? Islam ain't right. Well, how come you didn't give us the right Islam then? And then when you do come to the community, you come in with your little stupid ass stores selling pork and porn magazines and everything else, then trying to hit on the ladies. You know, I was at, we went to, you know, was in Florida, we went to the beach, right? Was that in Florida? It might have been New Jersey. I forget. We was going to the beach, right? And these Arabs pull up on us, man. Hey, man, where the sisters at, man? Ain't there a new thing? Oh, boy, they was talking to the wrong person. They was talking to the wrong person, boy. They looked like I had a weapon or something. I'd be in jail right now. What they want to do? They want to hit on the sisters. Right? They said so holy and everything else, right? They were selling pork up in there. I remember there was this, I was married to a one from Morocco once. And this store I used to go to was like someone Sunni stores, right? So I went there with her, and I went and got stuff I usually get. And when she took it. They told her, "Hey, don't get that stuff. That stuff ain't." See, they know I was Muslim. I said I saw them everything too. They never said to me, "Told her, don't get that stuff. It's got pork and stuff in it." Yeah. And so they got all that money over there. That's our land. That's why they're paying Farrakhan, right? That's a lot of confusion go there because of this. This is what I'm telling you right now. I'm not going into details, but a lot of confusion go there right now because that money they paying. They was paying Farrakhan lots of money at first Wallace and then Farrakhan behind him to stop us from talking about that's our land. That's why Farrakhan, we ain't going nowhere. They're paying them to say that. They don't want us thinking that way. And when Wallace was around, you just had him come in, and his so-called Mastiers, they sat in the back, they're ordering everything he said to make sure that they weren't teaching that stuff, and they was paying them. And they come and offer Elijah Muhammad anything. They try to help us. They give money to the devils. They said, do not take Christians and Jews for friends. Well, they don't help us. Islam ain't right, but they give them billions of dollars and everything else because they know that's our land. They last thing wants to try to come back at it. And that's the problem happening right here because they know false Israel is false. But they want false Israel because false Israel is works for them too because it keeps us from identifying who we are. Because, hey, see, that's them. That destroys our vision. Let's not destroy together, brothers and sisters. Move on, because I'm gonna have to cut this short. So there's so much to talk about, brothers and sisters. So I don't give a damn about what's happening over there. They get a taste of what he did to us. See, you understand, this time of consequence. This time of consequence. Time of justice. And so everything that was done is now everybody's got to pay for it. And see, the problem is, we was the one holding it up. I told them how we held up for them. We was holding for the whole world. Because, okay, let me get a little mathematics here, brothers and sisters. I told them about personification. Doing all they've done to you. So we personify everything, so don't be no mystery God, all that kind of stuff, right? So it says eye for eye, I tell you, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. That's what it's supposed to be. So if you take mine, I take yours. That's personification because you become the consequence of what they did, not some mystery God. See? That's why we do it that way. So that's what they do, double them as they done to you. Otherwise, if it wasn't that, bad luck would just come to them, but There'd be all kinds of uncontrollable ways. But now, since we personify everything, then the one that, the action, every action is an opposite or equal reaction. Why is opposite or equal reaction? Right? For that to work, there had to be personification, because you have to, the one that you did the evil to has to be the one that pay you back for it. It gets deeper than that, but I'm just trying to get it basic. So the thing is, it's telling us that all the nations are the reason why we're going through what we're going through right now. It says, "But I'll see all nations was blessed." You say, "Oh, that sounds good." If by "I'll see all nations was blessed," let's look at that carefully. That's like that, the gates of hell will not prevail. But you'll see all nations be blessed. So you bless all the other people. So that means if you bless them, that means your energy you give them to them. What about you? But you'll see all nations are blessed. These all nations benefit from your energy. They control your energy. They bless. The blessing is when you control energy. They control you. From all nations, get it. From your seed. That means they have control of your energy. They bless. So what they got control what's for you. You don't have control of it. They have it. So you don't read the stuff. You pay attention to what they're saying here. It sounds like, oh, that's great. But I see all they be blessed. Well, if you understand energy, that means you're giving them your energy. That's what blessings are. So if you're giving them, where's yours? That means all nations are benefiting from our misery. All. So eye for eye, tooth for tooth, right? So you punch me in the face, I punch you back. So if you punch me in the face and I don't punch you back, that means I'm just damming it up, holding it up. I'm gonna get you, I just don't get you right now. So you punch me in the face every day for a year. Boom, boom, with a 10-pound punch. Boom, boom, boom. You only hit me one time, so I get a chance to recover. Every day, boom, bam, every day, right? So after 365 days, right, that's 10 pounds. That'd be 3,650 pounds of pressure, force that's built up that hasn't responded. But now I'm going to respond sooner or later, because that's what it is, consequence. But I'm the personification of it. So you got the grace period. That's why Christ called it the grace period. You have the grace period because you're not getting the consequence. You partying, man. Oh, look, I'm kicking ass, man. Look, I'm partying and everything else. Because you ain't suffering the consequence. Because if you did, every time I punch you, they would be punching. So you wouldn't get anywhere. I would get anywhere. But now you got the grace period. You dance, party, and everything else. Because I'm damming up that consequence. Because I'm not responding. That says, submit to Adam. Just take it. Just take it. And see all that pressure building up. But that's what causes enough pressure builds up, you turn coal into a diamond. You understand? That's what's happening. So that after a year, you start to retaliate, that damn breaks. Right? Because it breaks, and now you're going to retaliate. You hit them at one time. That's what they say, all what they've done the last 5 years coming in one day. So you hit them one time with 3,650 pounds. What you think what do to them? Demolish it, be what? You see what I'm saying? They feel that punch 10 generations in the past. Their great-great-grandmother would have felt that punch. See what I'm saying? That's what's happening, brothers and sisters. So all the nations, that's why they don't want that dam to break. Because the dam breaks when you realize that you're the dam. Because right now it punching you, right? They tell you, hey man, that's a love tap. Or you're supposed to accept that. Or what master beat your ass, you're supposed to love master. You're supposed to retaliate. Remember, this old Christianity is about not retaliating. You get it? It's all about not retaliating. Why? They retaliate all the time for what they do. Christianity is about not retaliating. Damn it up. Hold it in. Forgive. See, you don't understand this stuff. Hold it in. See? But when God comes, he ain't holding nothing in. He gonna kick ass. I'm coming with a sword. Is there wrath? I'm put wrath on it. Tell me they don't hold a grudge. What's that? Tell me that God hold a grudge. What the hell you call that? Ishmael. You better look at what grudge means. He said, I'll whoop your ass for everything you've done to his people. He said, what have you done to them, you done to me? Ain't that a grudge? I'm going to kick your ass for what you did to me. They said it clear. Said, why was it something like that? I tell you, you got to pay attention to everything they say. Said, whatever you did to them, you did to me. So therefore, it's now I'm going to kick your ass. I got that's a grudge. You know, you can't have no grudge, you got to forgive. See, because they was Farrakhan, and he wants to hold that dam back. Because you know, he's going to be one of the things going to get hit when that dam breaks, because he's the devil himself, follows the devil. You understand, brothers and sisters? Hold it back. So how long can they keep you to hold it back? As long as you keep that mindset. Because what was you doing? It got so bad, you just beating yourself. That's holding it. That ain't holding it back. The man was beating himself up. It built so bad, instead of punching him back, he's punching himself. That means he's still containing with himself. It was overcoming him. At that point, was beating himself. That means that dam is like shaking, right? The dam start, stretching because it's so much you can't hardly hold it anymore. See that you build so much, that's why the dam could hold it. I don't care how strong you build a dam. It's built to handle so much stress, right? So the man has so much stress at the point he started beating himself up. They tell you at that point his dam was about to break. So he went and looked. Went saw the man looking, seeking him. Hey, give my mind back. Because he was beating himself. That means his dam was was on the breaking point. We say, don't just hold it back. What did the master do to you? When he punch yourself. You're beating yourself. See, so that's a stream. And so that's what I'm saying. All these nations, all of them had a part in it. And so that dam breaks. You're the consequence of what they did. That's why they're afraid of you. Because you're the consequence. See? So everything they did, now you're going to take revenge. He said, doing what it's done to you. Amalek. Remember, that's Amalek. Remember, you better remember what they did to you. You're going to do it back to them. That sounds like, what is that, Christianity? No, it's like kicking ass. And that's in the Bible. That's why he's got to keep you. But it's harder and harder and harder to keep that dam from breaking, right? But as long as they got that false crystal up there, then you don't realize that you're the dam, that you got to let this stuff go. You see? But once you realize, okay, boom, you choose Abraham, you got to hold this back no more, you've done your 40 years, that dam breaks, and god damn, woo, 500 years of hell that you went on a Holocaust. And everything they done, that be done to them. In 1 year. That's for the devils, and others a little more. In 1 year. 5 years in 1 year. That's an unprecedented. So I'm not shedding any tears over them, because what they're doing is that's just a sign of what's to come. They're starting to get a taste of what they did to us. Let's go and continue with this. Mommy's desolation. Okay, that, right? October 7th, right? That's when it started, right? Never go up until, right? The war started with false Israel attack in June 2025. I told you that was going to happen. Now the war actually started in earnest. First you got war broke in heaven, then Michael's angels fight with the dragon's angels, right? So now that's beginning to happen, right? And now the war stopped, but now Israel striking back. Says Michael's angels, war broke in heaven, Michael's angels fought, right? With dragon's angels, they fought back. So now you got the back and forth now. Now you got the back and forth. You didn't have it before. Now you got the back and forth, right? Okay. And now, Iran strikes back, and then America strikes back again, attacks Iran, right? And then Iran's threatening to block Strait of Hormuz, right? Threats the building. And now, so America's joined now, because it's Mike Dragons Angels. But see, the war won't be fulfilled. I mean, the war be totally, right? There's total, until Dragon gets involved. Well, Dragons, how's Assad? Right now, they pretend they're on the Iran side. No, they ain't. See? And so soon he's going to join on the side of America. See? And that's when it was on earnest. That should happen very soon. Right? As far as Israel, okay. Yeah, he's threatening for Strait of Hormuz, right? That's why I tell everybody, put at least 2 weeks worth of food together that you don't need to cook or freeze. Right? It's a win-win situation. If nothing happens, you got the food, but if it doesn't happen, because they tell me if they close Strait from Hormuz, that's what they threaten to do, oil price will go through the ceiling, that means you're going to have economic trouble. Not economic collapse here first, but you will have it in Europe. Right? They'll be there first. Right? And now, this is where we are right now. Right? Okay, brothers, here I go again. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second. My date's right here. Going back in time, it's 25. There you go. Okay, there you go. So we are right now, and today, for Israel, begging Iran, so let's just stop. They're getting their ass kicked. I don't know if you heard that or not. They said, let's just stop fighting with each other. They see? They're getting their ass kicked, right? They still can't stop the spring from coming in. Nothing to stop it. They think they can, they don't know. Right? They never experienced all that. Remember, they children of the winter. They never they wasn't around during the autumn, they wasn't around during the spring or summer. They don't know, all they know is winter. So they think winter is winter all the time. And so spring is new to them. So when spring started coming, what the hell? They started losing power. And they want to keep this winter going. But they can't, it's impossible, but they don't know that. Right? Okay? So they said, but Rand says, no. We got to punish you some more. Right? And then Iran attacks American military bases. And they say like it's a mild attack. But we know it's going to be full scale in a minute. That's what's happening right now. I mean, before, as I started this presentation. Now, I don't know what's going on at this moment, right? But we are awaiting America's response to their attack on their base. They may have responded already, I don't know. That's what we're waiting right now. And then what's going on? If we're telling you as we move into the future, right? Then we see that the war is going to intensify. Iran's not backing down. War is going to intensify, and we're going to see Arabia get involved. That's because America is going to get more involved. So we're going to see the House of Saud get more involved against Iran. Then you know the war is full flown because it says Michael's angels went to war with Dragon's angels, and Michael's master from Muhammad. He's the one who's going to deliver us. And so when that happens, we know the hand of Master Muhammad is going to be seen because he's going to be with them. It says They don't say Michael's angels, Michael's angels. Why? What's his purpose? Well, part of the purpose is, right, is that's why false Israel's nuclear weapons are going to be neutralized, because that's what Master is going to neutralize their nuclear weapons. That's not stored together, right? So that's going to happen. I'm telling you, I'm just bit by bit. I said this war will continue all the way up to December, right? So full-blown regional war once the dragon gets involved, right? And then during this time, Farrakhan will be exposed and disposed. Because if you read chapter 12, it says, at that time, the accused of our brother be cast down. I'm not accused now, people. Elijah Muhammad didn't do it, Master Muhammad didn't do it. The devils may do it. They don't care about you. It's Farrakhan. You're so wicked. You're so evil. I pray a lot of the words eat your ass. All this stuff. You get that from him. Because first of all, he's a demon to begin with. You get that from him. He's the accuser. You're sinful. That's why he don't talk about the Abrahamic covenant. Because why would you reward somebody for being wicked? It's sinful. He talks about the vision, 40 years, but it's in the same paragraph. How do we talk about, we ain't going nowhere, he calling God a liar. It's not stored together, brothers and sisters. Move on. Okay, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to close out because there's no way I'm going to get through all this today, brothers and sisters. Okay, in this case here, I've mentioned this before. Elijah, let me be clear, Elijah Muhammad's not a dummy. But Farrakhan used him as a dummy. See, they didn't figure this out themselves. Okay. So the master, they're a handler, right? Writing the script for them. So what he's doing is, you have a dummy, you have ventriloquist, so you put words into the dummy's mouth. So what the dummy's saying is not what the dummy's words, they're your words. But it's come out of the dummy's mouth. Right? Think about that. So the words come out, so he's putting words in Elijah's mouth. So it's not Elijah's words, that's his words. But he can say it's coming from Elijah. And this is where tricks come in. So he says, I'm a student of Elijah, so I'm just going to say what Elijah tells me to say. I'm speaking his words. Yeah, but where does Elijah get his words from? From him. He's speaking his own words, but he's putting it on Elijah. And they've been really big with that lately. And they deceive a lot of you because you don't believe in the truth. It says they had no love for the truth. No love for the truth. They say that. Let me show you the verse. They had no love for the truth. You had no love for the truth. Because if you did, you would be victims. You wouldn't have to go to tribulation. You had no love for the truth. None. Because you'd be right here. And I ain't asked for a dime. I ain't asked you a dime. I ain't here to tell you what to do. Or anything. I'm just trying to give information. And what's the problem with that? Right? Because you don't love truth. Let's look at this, brothers and sisters. This happened before your eyes, brothers and sisters. Because false Israel is the false sign of this, a false sign. Make you think they didn't see true Abraham. And so therefore, it's not a problem. Because if you knew true Abraham, you had that vision, that means vision unified people. You have a vision, a common destination, common cause. So we all divide everything else because we don't have a common vision. In fact, some of the visions of Jesus, some of it is American dream, everything else. So we all divided. We don't have a common vision. Like Muhammad gave you a common vision, and that was uniting black folks, and they got rid of that. He gave you this. So let's look at it again. See, false Israel is being destroyed right before your eyes. And that means that then the true vision will be there. You see that you the truth, and then you come together as a seemingly great army. And they don't want that. They want our unity. Because remember, we the consequence. They want us to keep damming up that oil at the beginning. Keep taking it. Keep taking it, niggas. Just obey master. Forgive. That's what they was in that Sunday. Oh, don't hold a grudge, man. That's in the past. Okay, well then God is not concerned about the past. Where's he going to judge you based on the future? This is all bullshit. That's Farrakhan stuff. Another way to try to get you to keep that damn block dammed up. Oh, good, you go let that stuff mess you up, make you think about the past. No. Because we the consequence, because we hold it in. So that's the great, as long as we hold in. But right now, it's about the birds, because now we start beating ourselves, it's cracking, busting at the seams. See, my dam is about to break, boy. And every nation's going to pay a price. The price. Let's look at demons. I think we'll close after this. Demons. Now I'm going to go into a little more detail about demons I have before. Right? Because demons is my primary target right now. Because they're attacking our people. Because people don't recognize them. You see here? Now, except origination, there's 6 parts. You got the elect, but I'm not sure. I'm just showing this here. So this is the black horse. This is a greenish yellow horse. It's not pale. White horse. And this one here. See, this doesn't really have a color. You understand, Angel? This doesn't really have a color. Now, these came about because of raping our women. Not going to lie, detail and everything, right? But these are devils in blackface. But they're oriented towards the Christianity. They're in church. They're demons, right? But this one here is a demon, right? Okay? But it's more oriented towards it's Sunni stuff. But it's still a demon. That's what the angel tell you how they placed. Right? This one here, right? He's dead, but he's original, not a demon. Okay. But this one here, curious, because he don't really. And so we got another problem, a little deeper than I've ever talked to you about. But you got all kinds of demons. See, these demons, right? It depends on your see, demons, they like hybrids, like mutts. they don't have they come from a seed that's not original. Because you know we had a lot of that's why you see. I mean, I got a person that she's what you call it? She's not. She married someone in the family, right? And you can't tell her from somebody in the Philippines. Because a lot of our women, because they took, and they would use our women as prostitutes for the, see, they use the Chinese Orientals to build a railroad. And they would take, the slave master would bring some of our women over there as prostitutes. So we got all kinds of demons. We got some that, right? Different levels of mixture. Some got some devil in them. Some got some Oriental in them, right? Some got some other thing that another, because you might have another demon, right? Here, for instance, well, you got South America a lot from there, right? But say, for instance, you had a person like from India, right? I'm just throwing it out there. And they got raped by a demon. when he got raped by a demon or a devil, right? Devil seed. So they got a child that looks like Indian, but it's really devil. Because you know, as we got people in our community that look like some look like Indian, some look like Hispanic, all because they got all stuff over go. See, I try to just get a simple one, just to say master, but no, that's why that one has no color, because it's all mixed up. This is deal, it's all mixed up. See, you might have some Oriental, might all kind of stuff, and those they have a particular characteristic about them. Because see, the straightforward demons like Farrakhan, or like the ones Christian orientation, straightforward, but they want to be with Master, because it's straightforward. They look like us, they want to be with Master. So they want civil rights, they fight civil rights, they want Christianity, whatever, as far as the green one there, right? See? Because they want to be just like Master. It's straightforward for them, straightforward for them. See? And the others up there, straightforward for them too. Right? They want to be a master, but you know, they might have a, you know, they don't want to be Christians, but they, you know, but they would master. So it's straightforward for them too. So it's pretty clear. But the other ones, they're all mixed up, everything. I don't know who they are. See, because these know who they want to be with. That's why you see, you don't see concording with Indians and he's hanging with the devil. That's what Farrakhan look. I'm kissing devils and everything else. And so he's Christian down here. But this one up here, that's a strange one. See, it's a really telling characteristic about them, because they got all these different natures mixed up. See, this demon have two natures, original and the devil, two natures, clear cut. So you know they want to. So, and they get mad because they want to do the devils, but the devil don't accept them. Say, Master, you got to accept me, I'm your child, you know, whatever. When they come at us, because they can't run the devil, then he causes us all kind of trouble. Because they don't really want to be with us, they look like us, and they cause all kind of trouble. Okay? There's another one here. They're all over the place. How you know them? Because they don't fit in anywhere. They don't fit in anywhere. Everywhere they go, they go here, they go there. They can't find a resting place. Everywhere they go, they get thrown out because they can't fit in. They just can't find a place. That's why I don't give them a color. Can't find a place. I've had to deal with something like this recently. So they find a place. Just can't find. They can't find a place in any place. They're very hypocritical in their conduct. Because they say, yeah, they're with you, but they ain't with you. They're confused. They're here, they're there, all over the place. They can't find a resting place. They get thrown out every place they go because they can't fit in. And you got to watch out for those that go tribulation. Now, I never talked about it before. I'm talking about them now. Because they don't have a color. That's the characteristic they have. So they pretend to be with you. Because like I said, they're going to, any situation they're going to go to, whatever they think is going to say, if they're in trouble, they're going to gravitate to, oh, I'll be with you. They ain't with you. But their boat's sinking, they jump on your boat. I knew I was alone, but that's the other demon kind of. That's why I say it like that. You know, it threw me for a while because I thought it was a red one. And I realized, no, he was talking about the, you know, the Levite, you know, the trumpets. Maybe that's what it is. They confused. And they can act like all the other ones because they got quasi all. They can act like all. But you put in pressure on me right there. They can't survive because they ain't really there. They can act like black folks, they got that in them. They can act like all of this. They can act like all of them. They can't find because, but like I said, not straightforward. They're confused. And they can act but for a moment. They can't because, remember, they got all these other natures that they're totally in conflict with other natures. natures that they're in conflict with. Conflicting natures, right? So one time they be hot with this one, then cold with the next one, whatever, back and forth, back and forth. Confused people. They be weed out during tribulation. Right? That's them. It's other kind of demons. Okay. I think I'm gonna close out Belsis here. Cause yeah, I think so. Let me see what I got here. Well, I'll talk a little bit about it. This is where we are right now, brothers and sisters. Iran, see, the reason I have gold here, they've actually white, but they have gold because the top of each nation is gold. See, here's one nation here, the top is gold, top is gold. Well, that's not quite elect there. The top is, it says 6 wings, but the top 2 wings is gold. That means it's the Islamic part. Say Islamic part of the European nations. I'm just leave it there. But they've been kicked out because in the 1990s, America and Britain, for Israel, took control of the Middle East. So they got superseded, so they here. So that's where they are right now. Now they're trying to gain control again. That's where we are right now in history. Right now in history, see? They're in control of the Middle East, and they're under their feet. So now, where it started. Where it started, the war's going. That's where we are right now in time. The war's going on. That's the war broke out in heaven. And then what? And it says during this war, right, Egypt's going to take part. Egypt's going to take them out. This another, I'm prophesizing, brothers. They're going to betray them and knock them out from the behind. Right? This war's going to get very hot in a minute. Not going to die now. And then that's when they get thrown out of the Middle East. As far as Israel going to siege. This is what's happening and about to happen. And then America and Britain kick it thrown out. And then here's America between Europe and Russia. That's Armageddon. That's Armageddon. And here, Nation of Islam, and that's they're going to attack us. Because at this point, for us, Israel is about to go down. And they know if they go down, then we're going to come together as a great army. So they had no choice. They got to take us out. That's what this is right here. That says, for those who are with child, that's what they with child. Because see, under these, that's what they're pregnant in that sense. Because these are under them. That's what it means. Don't mean an actual pregnant woman. So they're thrown out of the Middle East. For us, Israel under siege. And gone. And they're attacking us. But now false is gone there. Now we know who we are. So we're under attack. As when 4 winds blow, I explain out another presentation about this. And then bam, then we come together. This will happen before December. Happened before December, but I just told you what happened before December. Blacks on the attack, they flee. So we see flee, we see Jerusalem army flee. Flee what? It's telling you to flee. Why? Because you're under attack. And the attack is so vicious and so sudden and so violent that you can't go in your house to get your daughter, anything. You can't go get. If you outside, you can't go. You don't have time to go get them. You have to run immediately. You got time to make a cell phone call, anything. How vicious it's going to be. So then you flee. All black folks come together. All black folks. That's on skin color, right? And then they separate out, and demons are separated out from the original. It's thrown back in. Chaff said rendering from the wheat. And then, and that what that was happening here is that's the 5 months locust war. That's the demons. That's Samson also. Samson is that. That's about Samson here. I mean, you understand what it is. He was a demon. Right? In 5 months, they're going to be Tan's country apart. The country will be totally messed up. They're going to try to march laws. It's going to fail. Total chaos. And they're going to have a sense of unity. A little bit, enough to take control of this country. And they'll take it just in time when they go to rise. They put into the demons. So let's talk about Balaam for a minute. As you force, I'm just going to upgrade it. Now Balaam, see, Balaam is Master Muhammad. His ass, or donkey, he's sitting on is Farrakhan. The angel that is here, angel of the Lord, is Sunnism. Right? So the angel's sitting there, he sees the angel, he won't budge. Because he don't fear the one that's riding him, Master Muhammad. He fears Sunnism. He fear that God. That's what it says. See, that story, not that crap they said Sunday. Have no idea what it was talking about. That's somehow. So he wouldn't obey Master Muhammad because he was obeying Sunni. That ain't the angel of the Lord, it's Sunnism. That's what it's telling you. Okay? That's the bottom line of the story. But see, at the beginning, it says Balak, which is false Israel, tried to get Master Muhammad to curse us. He said, well, you one of us, man. Curse them, don't bless them. They tried to trick him into cursing us when he came here. He said, no. That's the same thing here. So that's the situation, brothers and sisters. Okay? That's the angel of the Lord here. That's Sunnism. Right? He said he was a sword. And he says, oh, I'm going to obey you. Okay? And he said, wait a minute, you're trying to get it to move, you won't move. Right? You won't obey the one that's riding them, Balaam. You obey the one, Sunni. Okay? That's exactly what Farrakhan's doing. Okay, I'm going to leave that bro. Since I think I spent enough on that. I mean, I can go more detail, but that's the point there. Oh. It says, Master Muhammad kept beating the ass before what he was doing. I don't forget that one. Kept beating him, right? Because he wouldn't obey him, he wanted to obey Sunnism. He didn't want to obey what he got from Elijah Muhammad, because they push Sunnism over there, they pushing Elijah Muhammad's Islam. Islam's mathematics, Islam, they don't know anything about mathematics anyway. So it was 3 times. The first time was a curse. 55 was cursed for cancer. So they got beat 3 times. Said Master Muhammad beat him 3 times. Okay, that's one. Where's the second one? Humiliated, that's right here. We all come together and he's pointing out, no, you ain't one of us. Humiliated, rejected, right? And excuse me about this. And last was death. It's down here. See? The goat comes in and kills him. That's the three brothers. I'm gonna leave it there. That's a short mess, short one. Listen to this closely, brothers and sisters.
Although the Nation of Islam, does not presently advocate violence by its members, the group does preach hatred of the white race and racial separatism. The membership of the Nation of Islam is organized and poses a real racial threat. The Nation of Islam is responsible for the largest black nationalist newspaper, which has been used by other black extremists. The Nation of Islam appears to be the personal fiefdom of Elijah Muhammad. When he dies, a power struggle can be expected and the Nation of Islam could change direction. We should be prepared for this eventuality. We should plan how to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation, deleting the race hatred and separate nationhood aspects. In this connection, Chicago should consider what counterintelligence action might be needed now or at the time of Elijah Muhammad's death to bring about such a change in Nation of Islam philosophy. Important considerations should include the identity, strengths, and weaknesses of any contenders for Nation of Islam leadership. What are the positions of our bureau deletion informants in regard to leadership? How could potential leaders be turned or neutralized? The alternative to changing the philosophy of the Nation of Islam is the destruction of the organization. This might be accomplished through generating factionalism among the contenders for Elijah Muhammad's leadership or through legal action in probate court on his death. Chicago should consider the question of how to generate the factionalism necessary to destroy the Nation of Islam by splitting into several groups, bureau deletion. Do you think that the FBI just folded and walked away? Read this document carefully. Did not the FBI accomplish each of their goals? Did not Farrakhan deliver everything the FBI wanted? We should plan to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation. Sunniism, Scientology. Deleting the race hatred. Don't call devils anymore. Deleting the separate nationhood aspects. We ain't going nowhere. No existing economic program. The reason why these facts are ignored is because those that surround him are demons, fools, idolaters and FBI agent handlers who make sure he stays on track.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Pfleger as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is, you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity.
Yes, sir.
So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you.
One more time, brother.
Washington, D.C. Louis Farrakhan suspects that his father may have been Jewish. At least that's what he tells Henry Louis Gates Jr. in the current issue of the New Yorker magazine. Speaking of his father's white Portuguese parents, the Nation of Islam leader said, "I'm going to tell you something. You really want to know what I think? I think they were members of the Jewish community." He added, "I believe that in my blood, and not in a bad way. Because when I was a little boy I used to love listening to the Jewish cantors in Boston. They had a program, and every week I would listen. I was struck by the cantor, and I've always loved the way they sing or recite the Torah." Gates, citing an academic source, says Farrakhan's assertion about his lineage is highly probable given that nearly all people of Iberian descent in Jamaica and Barbados are of Sephardic Jewish ancestry. Farrakhan was born in 1933, the son of May Clark, who was from Barbados. He was named Gene after his father, a light-skinned man with straight hair from Jamaica. His father, Gates writes, was a philanderer whom the family rarely saw. "If in my lineage there are Jews, I would hope that in the end, before my life is over, I not only will have rendered a service to my own beloved community of black people but will also have rendered a service to the Jewish community," Farrakhan was quoted as saying. In the interview with Gates, which reportedly lasted 9 hours, the Nation of Islam leader also made reference to wise Jews who plan evil, the international conspiracy of Jewish bankers and overwhelming Jewish complicity in the slave trade. Jewish groups expressed outrage over Farrakhan's latest public statements. Farrakhan's effort to make it appear that he is merely criticizing the evil he finds in his own Jewish antecedents is a reflection of the bizarre and ludicrous nature of his entire behavior towards Jews, Phil Baum, executive director of the American Jewish Congress, said in a statement. Meanwhile, a planned protest against the Anti-Defamation League of B'nai B'rith fizzled last week when Washington, D.C., police denied former Nation of Islam spokesman Khalid Abdul Muhammad entrance to the B'nai B'rith office. Flanked by 4 bodyguards in black fatigues, Muhammad took a moment to rail against the ADL and the Jewish community before he departed the scene. "This is a criminal organization and a criminal enterprise that has lied and spied on black leaders and black organizations," said Muhammad, who was dismissed as Farrakhan's spokesman in 1994 in the wake of a national controversy surrounding a vehemently anti-Semitic speech he delivered at Keene College in New Jersey. Muhammad called the ADL and its parent organization, B'nai B'rith, one of the main arteries of improper propaganda and nefarious activity that has greatly influenced the larger American Jewish community. In brief remarks to reporters, Muhammad said the black man and black woman are the chosen people of God, and we want to put an end to this lie of the so-called Jews, these people who crawled out of the caves and hills of Europe just a few years ago claiming our birthright. Standing astride Muhammad was Malik Zulu Shabazz, the leader of the Washington, D.C.-based Unity Nation, who gained notoriety for leading anti-Semitic chants at Howard University student rallies in 1994. Shabazz said the ADL is an oppressive organization that comes from a people that are by nature evil and wicked.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters.